What's up, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? Boogie2988 coming at you live again through the power of the internet. And it's that time of week again where I ramble about myself and life, the universe, things around me that are particularly interesting to me. This is my closest thing to a vlogging series I've ever gotten. Maybe that'll change one day when I'm doing more interesting things other than working myself to death and sitting on my recliner and going back and forth to hospitals. But a lot of stuff I want to talk to you about this week. I want to talk a little bit about the medical stuff. I want to talk a little bit about my life stuff. I want to talk a little bit about the channel, and I definitely want to talk a little bit about my character, Francis. So that's the main reason I'm making this video today, is I want to talk about the character, Francis. A lot of you who watch this series don't care about Francis, and a lot of the people that do care about Francis do not watch this video. So if you are the person that's fortunate for me is you choose to watch both, please let people know what's going on, what I'm going to say in this video, in the comments section of Francis videos. I've been trying to let them know I could definitely use your help. But a few weeks back, we started a story arc for the character Francis, which we've done that before. Most of the videos are meant to be consumed as a one-up because that's how most people consume them. They come in, they see the one video, they never come back. They think, oh, what a fat, detestable fuck, then they walk away. I've been getting a lot of that over the last couple of weeks. A lot of people not realizing that I'm not actually Francis. Super funny to me. But anyway, sometimes we do story arcs. And ever since I met McJuggernuggets, Jesse, I've been wanting to do story arcs. YouTube has always been a creative thing for me, and the Francis character has been the most creative thing I can do. A lot of the gaming stuff is just gaming news and gaming reviews and gaming stuff. A lot of the personal stuff is just what's happening in my life. There's nothing really creative about that. Maybe the editing or maybe the way you mess around with it or whatever. But Francis has been the way that I've done my creative stuff. So the latest video was designed to be a parody video of fidget spinner videos that you see on YouTube. A lot of the younger people that do fidget spinner videos are fidget spinners. Yeah, fidget spinners, spinner fidgets, fidget spinners. I digress. A lot of the people that do those videos tend to be very amateurish. So when I did a Google for fidget spinner cringe, I found all these very amateurish videos where they don't really take into account the sound. So there's noise in the background and stuff like that. They don't really take into account the lighting. They don't really take into account the background of what they're filming in front of or anything of that, or really have an idea of what they're going to do in the video. Very similar to this video, very similar to my rambling series, but I digress. I wanted to make a pure parody of those that was just like some of the memes that you would see in those all in a row. And this also ties into the family-friendly Francis story arc. We've done story arcs with the character before. The holiday story arcs have always been very common. The David story arc was a lot of fun. My friend Jacob played David in that. We'll eventually do a callback for him to put a cap on that series and to finish it. But beyond that, this is the first real story arc like we've done ever since we met Jesse McJuggernuggets and got an idea of how sometimes he can write a story that he tells over several episodes or several videos. I wanted to try to do the same thing with the character. But here's what's important that you guys know. Those videos are not making any more money than any of the other Francis videos. The truth of the matter is our bottom fell out and we lost about 30-40% of our income, it feels like. But beyond that, it doesn't. We're still making just as much money from the Francis videos as we did before. I'm afraid still of getting flagged, and I'm afraid still of getting the channel flagged. But that's not what we're doing the Francis character. It is just a story arc, which has a crescendo. No spoilers, but we got a few more episodes of the family-friendly stuff to do, and then we'll start finalizing the family-friendly story arc. Probably a month more to go. And I think it's worth the payoff. I hope that you'll agree. But until then, I think some of the Francis videos are going to be lukewarm. But I'll tell you, a lot of people get what I'm doing, and a lot of people really enjoy it. They loved the parody. They got what I was trying to go for. They love the joke at the end of that video. If you haven't watched it, I hope you do. I love being creative on YouTube. I love expressing myself that way. I love that series. It is very near and dear to my heart, and I will do it even if YouTube pulls the rug completely out from under us. I still want to do it. It's just fun. And if you guys enjoy it, and I enjoy it, there's no harm. Even if the advertisers don't enjoy it, who cares? So let people know. It's all a story arc. It'll clear up eventually. Francis will be back to normal at some point. One of the things I've been getting a lot over the past couple of weeks, though, is, Boogie, when you lose the weight after your surgery, are you afraid that you will not be successful on YouTube anymore? More to the point, are you afraid that Francis will not be funny anymore, or that you won't be funny anymore? Well, I will tell you, I never thought it was that funny to begin with, so it's a small drop from funny to not funny, Like, I think, up here is like George Carlin, right? Maybe Bo Burnham, just a little bit below that, and then down here's like fucking Dane Cook, and then like Amy Schumer right there next to Dane Cook, and then like way down here is me, right? And then, so I've never, I'm not a comedic genius or anything. So do I think I continue to make mediocre entertainment that you guys watch? Probably. Probably. I think I'll be fine with that. I think Francis is funny even when he's not as fat. But here's the thing. It's going to be years before I'm ever, quote, skinny. I could lose 100 pounds in the first year, maybe 200 pounds in the first year. I'm still going to be 300 pounds, 250 pounds. I'm still going to be a big guy. I'm still going to have that loose skin and stuff. Even, the best case scenario is I've got a couple years of Francis left in me if he stops being funny when I'm skinny. But I think I can still be funny when I'm skinny, and we'll see. We'll see. Now, what I do worry about is I do plan to get the teeth fixed. And when I do get the teeth fixed, I wonder if I will be able to lisp as well as I can. But beyond that, I think that YouTube for me is not just the Francis stuff. I think it is definitely the gaming news and the gaming stuff and the gaming commentary, which I love to do. But I think a lot of it's personality driven. I think a lot of you relate to me, and I definitely relate to you. And so I think we are always going to have a connection. I hope that I don't lose some of you talking about the surgery and post-surgery, and when I start to look different, and maybe I'll even act a little different. Who knows? A lot of people who get that surgery do change a little bit. Hopefully I'll still be me. And, but of course I've changed so much over the last 7 years. If you've been with me for the last 7 years, you certainly know it. People change all the time. We all change all the time. It's part of the process. We grow and we become different and we become better and we become worse in some ways. And it's just part of the process. And I know that some of you have been with me since the beginning. I know some of you will be with me till the end, whenever that is. Some people have even said, Boogie, if you, being one of the top YouTubers, if you lose all that weight, YouTube will probably adore you. They'll probably connect to you. They might put you on the Oprahs. They might put you on the Ellens. They might put you on the Jimmy Kimmels. I don't think so. That's like a pipe dream and a half. They don't give a shit that I exist, and they're never going to give a shit I exist. I will be a footnote. If I get the surgery and I lose hundreds of pounds, I will still just be a footnote in YouTube's history. And really, YouTube is definitely the thing that gave me one of the pieces of motivation to really improve my life, and definitely gave me the way to pay for the surgery and everything else. Without it, I would never have access to that. But really, I credit Diamond Dallas Page, and I credit my wife, and I credit you before I credit the website anyway, really. You know what I'm saying? The website was the first big step, though. I'll give them that. And they've definitely managed to make sure that me and my family are taken care of, even when I couldn't work for myself. So I owe them everything. But I owe you more. I owe my wife more. I owe Dallas Page more. So that's my opinion. That's just my thoughts. My family and friend and support system. So good news when it comes to surgery. That's something else I wanted to talk about this week. Thursday was our psychological component with the bariatric surgery stuff, the prep work. And it was interesting. We got through it just fine. I'm very self-aware. I'm very aware of what makes me who and what I am. I'm very aware of my eating problems. I'm very aware of my mental issues. I've been someone who's self-taught themselves for their entire lives. I have someone who has been in therapy in and out of his entire life. And of course, I consider myself in therapy every day with reading on the internet and consuming and group therapy and stuff like that. Big part of what I do every day. Just try to self-improve and just try to get better. And sometimes I pass that information on to you if it's relevant or interesting to you. And I love doing it. But the one thing that was a problem is something that my doctor had talked about when last time I met with him, and then my therapist is also pretty concerned about it too, which is the amount that I work. Now, a lot of people are going to balk at that. Boogie, I work 2 jobs, 40 hours at once, 20 hours at a part-time job, and I get paid $7 an hour, and I have to clean toilets, and I have to fucking wait on customers. And yeah, I get it, dude. I get it. I've been there. I'll probably be there again. I'll probably be right alongside you when all this YouTube stuff is over one day. God willing, I'll be skinny enough to be able to do that work with you, And I definitely did my share of that work. Probably a lot less than most, but I did a fair amount of it. The work in security up at the Hyper building and washing dishes in a Mexican restaurant and working retail in gaming stores and stuff like that. That said, what a lot of people don't realize is that YouTube for me is not just a job. It's kind of like an obsession. And YouTube is not the only thing we do. We do a lot of stuff, And so, in a given week, I probably make between 3 to 5 videos depending on the week, and some of those videos can be very short to make. This one overall, between filming it and maybe having to do a do-over or two and then uploading it and getting it on the internet, this kind of video might take a 2-hour turnaround. Not a real big deal for me. Get it on the web, get all the metadata done, get the thumbnails made, get it out, push it out into the world, get it on social media, share it, all that stuff. That's probably one of the least time-consuming videos. Something like the gaming news videos can be 4, 6, 8 hours. And of course, anything more creative than that, the Francis stuff can take 5, 10 hours sometimes, just depending on the sketch and what we're doing with it. And then there's the streams, which I do about 3 hours a night, 5 nights a week. But then there's all the back-end stuff, the garbagey back-end stuff, which is talking to the sponsors and doing the phone calls and talking to the guys over at Loot Crate and answering the fan mails and answering the business mails and negotiating this and negotiating that and doing the bookkeeping, doing the bookwork and doing this and doing that. And that really adds up. The social media part of it starts the moment I wake up in the morning to the moment that I go to bed, reading Reddit, see what gaming news is going on, see what's going on. And it depends on the week. Sometimes I work only, say, 30 or 40 hours, and those are nice weeks. Some weeks I work 50 or 60 hours. I try to set aside one day. I try not to stream on Friday, though I film sometimes on Fridays. I try to neither film nor stream on Saturdays, so I have one day off a week, which I spend with my family and my friends. Sometimes we use that night to film too, so sometimes I don't take a single day off. Well, this has been an issue because my doctor said, you're going to have to take time for yourself post-surgery. Well, the therapist expanded on that and said, for the first 2 weeks after surgery, I definitely am not going to be streaming. And I'm definitely not going to be, I am going to be in bed, laying in bed in pain, which I have really not considered. So me and my wife immediately started talking about how we'll film some videos beforehand. We'll get some stuff ready, and maybe I'll just film from my phone to give you like an update to let you know what's going on. And he says, no, that's the opposite of what I'm telling you to do. I'm telling you to slow it down. I'm telling you to back off. And he goes, one of the biggest things that you're going to have to do is find time to exercise after the surgery. When are you going to do that if you're working the kind of hours you normally work? And I'm like, well, that's a good point. I don't know. When will I find time to play the video games that I play for review purposes? When will I find the time to stream? Will I find it's supposed to do, I think he wants 180 minutes minimal a week, I think is what they said at the very minimum post-surgery. And then like a few weeks after surgery, they want like an hour a day, 7 days a week. The exercise quotient on this is huge. So what it comes down to is I think, and this is something I don't like to do. You can ask my wife, we haven't had a honeymoon. We haven't taken a real proper vacation. The only vacations we ever take, I work through them. And sometimes we go out to LA, but that's VidCon. It's kind of a work vacation. I'm doing all the panels and stuff like this, rushing here, rushing that, meeting this person for work, meeting that person for work, for pleasure too, but also for work. And we've never, 7 years, we've never taken a vacation. 7 years, we haven't taken our honeymoon. Oops. Now, a lot of that has to do with the fact that I'm so fat I can barely leave my fucking house. So what would I do on a honeymoon unless it's like a lazy river? I'm just going to float in the fucking thing, right? But in a post-surgery world, maybe that's something I really need to consider. Maybe I ought to be one of those lazy YouTubers who really only just, make 2 or 3 videos a week and just lay on my ass. Well, not lay on my ass, but get up and walk and move and do stuff. Maybe that change is coming. Maybe it's not. Here's what I do know. I think I'll always want to make at least a minimum of 3 videos a week, and I'll probably always want to stream at least 3 nights a week. I think that would be some sort of compromise. I don't know what the compromise is going to look like yet. But here's what I do know. One of the other things we talked about during that, he's like, what is something you're looking forward to doing after surgery? And the list of stuff I had was so long. It started at taking my wife on a honeymoon. Maybe to Hawaii. A dream destination of mine has always been to go to Hawaii, to go where those active live volcanoes are and do a flyover on a helicopter. I can't fit in a helicopter right now. Even with nobody else said it, I can't fit in a helicopter. So that's a no-go until I lose a few 100 pounds. I want to ride a roller coaster again. I want to go hiking with my wife. I want to walk my dog. I want to go kayaking with my wife. I want to get out on a boat. I want to swim. I want to swim long distances. I want to travel the world. I want to go to LA again and be able to move and do stuff in New York. And I want to go to Disneyland. I want to go to Disney World, and I want to be able to ride the rides, and I want to be able to, oh my God, there's so much I want to do. There's so much I want to do. And by God, I hope that we find the time to do it. So pretty excited about that. Pretty excited about that. But otherwise, we're getting real close, I think, to surgery. Next week, this Thursday, a couple days from now, after you watch this, is a couple days from now, is going to be the exercise portion of this. And if we do well with the exercise portion, that's pretty much the last portion. Then it's 2 more meetings with the doctor, and unless he determines something else needs to get done, then we'll schedule a date, and then we'll start working on the maybe the specialized diet leading to the surgery, the liquid diet and all that stuff, and start shrinking the stomach and getting some of the weight off in preparation for the surgery. And wouldn't that be swell? I'm still expecting roadblocks, and I'm still expecting this not to happen to the end of the year, and I hope that you are expecting that too. But we might get lucky, and I sure hope that we do. So that said, I am feeling pretty excited, and I'm feeling pretty happy about it, and I'm pretty I'm in a good place right now. My wife seems very happy right now, and you know what they say, happy wife, happy life, and I'm very happy right now. And Sammy's been having some behavioral problems the last couple of days. He just cannot seem to be, he can't seem to sit still, which is fine, because my wife loves to take him on walks. I wish I was walking him too. But otherwise, everything's good. I just bought Injustice tonight, started streaming it tonight, and having a lot of fun with it. It'll probably be a proper review for that in the gaming news video this week if you're interested in that. Other than that, I should probably let you go. Guys, as always, I appreciate you watching, and it means the world to me. Thanks. I hope you are enjoying the Francis story arc. I hope you're enjoying the videos. I hope that you're gearing up to have a wonderful spring and a wonderful summer. I hope you're going to do something exciting. Maybe not as exciting as the honeymoon that me and my wife will probably end up having to wait another year to take, but I hope that we get to take it eventually. And I hope that you are doing well. I hope that you are happy. I hope you're not working too hard. And let's let that be the key word for this week. Tell me what you do for work. I'd like to know what you do for work. How much do you work? How hard do you work? Maybe you're lucky and you're still living with the folks and you're not working yet. Maybe you're still under the age of 15, 16. Maybe you're one of those people pulling 2 jobs down 30 hours a week on each, 35 hours a week on each. Maybe you're somebody who's not been able to get work for a while. I'd love to hear your personal stories. Use the word work in your comment below, and I'd love to hear it. I always read them, just so you know. Guys, thanks for watching. I love you very much, and I'll speak with you again soon. Gotta work, 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 work. I do not know that song. Rihanna's hot, though.